There are many ways to play and enjoy RPGs, and each game's battle system is nuanced and unique. But there are some common tips and battle strategies that will be useful to you no matter what RPG you are playing. So let's discuss some of them. Tip number 1. Prioritize the health of your healer characters. Healers are the foundation of your party's survivability. You want to keep them away from danger and make sure their HP remains high. Their most important role is to restore the HP of the team, both in and outside of battles. If your healer faints in battle, it's going to be much harder to keep the rest of your party members healthy. Tip number 2. Heal first using magic when you can. MP is a resource that can be refilled somewhat easily and relatively often, which makes using healing spells and abilities a better choice than items in most cases. Items are finite, and once you use them up, it can sometimes be time-consuming or even difficult to gather more of them. It's a good idea to have both healing items and healer characters at your disposal so you can use both. In Lunar's case, it makes sense to carry a few healing and restorative items on characters that cannot heal using magic, so that they have a means to heal in a pinch, like when your healer character faints unexpectedly in battle. But it is much more reliable and efficient to use magic spells to heal the majority of the time. Tip number 3. Battle enemies in each area until you can easily defeat them with just a few normal attacks. This is a tip related to a game's difficulty. In order to feel confident that you can progress forward, you want to have your characters be strong enough to handle most normal enemies in the dungeon area without having to rely on their more powerful spells and abilities. If your party is struggling against even the normal enemies, there's little chance they will be able to defeat any boss monsters that you encounter as you progress further. Tip number 4. Deal with the most troublesome enemies first. Some battles present you with a large variety or number of enemies. It's common to find one or two particularly difficult enemies grouped together with a few others that are easier to deal with. In these situations, prioritize dealing damage to the ones that cause the most trouble first, such as enemies that deal a lot of damage to your characters, or ones that can heal themselves or other enemies. If you leave these more capable enemies for last, it means they will have more turns in battle to hassle your characters, and the battles will become more prolonged. With a more drawn-out battle, you will use up excessive MP and items keeping your characters healthy, and in some cases the tide of battle may even turn in the enemy's favor. Tip number 5. Assign battle commands manually unless you know for sure the enemies are easy. If you rely too much on auto-battle settings, like auto-attacking, it may not be the best approach to that particular battle. For example, in the previous tip we discussed the importance of dealing with more problematic opponents first. If you use Tactics 2 in Lunar to have all your characters simply auto-attack the closest enemy to their current position, you are potentially focusing on the small fry and leaving the stronger enemies to deal more damage to your characters. Lunar also has an AI battle feature where the game completely takes over and decides what to do for you. But the problem with using this approach is that it will somewhat recklessly use spells, abilities, and even items when it does not have to. So you will quickly use up your MP and items by relying on the AI feature too heavily. If you were instead issuing battle commands manually, you could focus on the more problematic enemies, and choose when to use spells or abilities to help defeat them more quickly. This reduces the overall danger that the battle poses for your characters and avoids using excessive resources needlessly. Tip number 6. Fully restore before boss battles and go all out against them. Boss encounters in RPGs are the times when you want to use every bit of strength your characters have gathered up until that point. It is a time to go all out and use all your resources. If the game reasonably allows you to, try your best to go into a boss battle with full HP and MP for all your characters. This is not always realistic, but using restorative items and saving before a boss battle can help even if you are deep in a dungeon area and can't easily get back to town. Boss enemies are created to challenge players, so you will want to use all your strongest attacks and make sure the party's HP levels remain high, Other ways, they can easily defeat your characters if you are not careful. You can always restore your character's HP and MP levels after the battle has concluded, as well as restock any items you may have used from shops or other sources. Tip number 7. Save often. While this is not strictly a battle tip, it is a very good suggestion to follow in any RPG you play. It's a terrible feeling of frustration when you've been making good progress in an RPG for an hour or two, only to have your characters get defeated in battle and realize you haven't saved your game progress in a while. If your party gets defeated in battle, you have to go back to whatever the last point you saved was and try again. Since Lunar Silver Star Story is a game that allows players to save their progress at any time outside of battles, it is very easy to save frequently, so be sure to save often. That way, in case something unexpected happens and you have to restart from your last save, you haven't lost too much time in getting back to that point again. Do you have a favorite battle tip or other useful advice for players that are new to RPGs? Leave a comment and share it with everyone. Thanks for watching.